You better step back and look at yourself, baby. Get a little closer.
What's going on, guys? It's Fear Turbo here, and today we're going to take a look at my Magicka Dragonknight build. PvE for the Morrowind patch. It's a little early. We're in PTS still. It's about 5 to 6 weeks, so there won't be any CP in this video, and any sustain changes, any changes they do to the base game, any changes, I will keep updated this build on my website, which will be in the description at fearturbo.com. Also, thing to note is this playstyle is for this certain sustain that is in the game now. So if they change it, then I'll change the rotation and maybe some gear. But for now, we have a pretty unique playstyle here. So Burning Spell is pretty much a no-brainer because DK uses so much fire damage. It's easy to keep this up. Grothdar, we're melee, more fire damage, more fire, lots of fire, right? These rings will come in gold, so we'll have a little bit more stats. Overall stats, but basically what we're going to do is 5 Burning Spellweave on the front bar, 5 Master's Architect on the back bar. Now, this won't have a high uptime for the buff, the Major Slayer buff, but what it will do is give a window of opportunity and provide extra damage for your team. So it's actually extremely powerful. Now, another thing you can do is do 5 Burning Spellweave, 5 Moondancer back bar, and take synergies on your back bar. That'll help you sustain and also get a spell damage proc, etc. But I wanted to go ahead and go this way because standard is 15% damage increase for 17 seconds, and this buff is a 15% damage increase for 10 seconds. So really, you just go super ham for like 17 seconds. So what we're going to do is we're going to have all of our dots on the front bar with whip that we will use after heavy attacks in certain instances. Obviously, if you need to keep up if your dots are about to go off, we're going to do heavy then a dot instead of heavy then a whip. We're going to have the Molten Armaments to boost our heavy attack damage. We're going to have Trap to boost our crit hit damage, and then Flames of Oblivion's really solid. Eruption's a really good dot. So we're going to try and keep a minimum of 18 seconds every back bar. So Flames of Oblivion is going to go down and Minor Force is going to go down. But we're going to swap every time Eruption needs to be put back up. And this is a really long dot. You're going to do this like every 2 eruptions. Maybe every 3. But you can just apply it ahead of time anyway. And then your shield on your back bar in standard. We have Meteor on the front bar. Obviously you want Shooting Star. I just don't have it morphed on this character, but no worries because we're not using it. Inner Light. You're going to have Big Magicka on the front bar, Burning Spellweave on the front bar, and then when you ult on the back bar, you're going to have a Master's Architect along with Standard. So what we're going to do is, basically we're just going to buff up, just like normal. Put our trap down. Heavy attack, 36k heavy attacks, 42. You see Eruption needs to be reapplied. We're going to do this, and then we're going to go to the front bar, do a heavy attack. Oh, that one didn't crit. Uh-oh. Those didn't crit. So basically, we're just going to standard, and then we're going to go super ham with a heavy attack, and then a whip combo, which is, I was playing with it earlier, and I was getting like 52k self-buffed, no penetration whips. I'm sorry, heavy attacks on top of like 30 to like 38k freaking whips with the double buffs, without Warhorn or like Major Pin and all this stuff. And I was just like super excited because it's like a huge burst opportunity with a big heavy attack and then a crit. Like, it hits extremely hard. And it's like, it'll be like, if it crits and everything lines up, you have your spell damage on your Burning Spell, etc. then it's going to be, I'm guessing, like 65k heavy and then like a 40k whip, which is insane damage. Just think about it. That's insane damage for those moments of time. Not to mention that you give Master's Architect to 2 other people. So you're going to have this buff up if you have teammates that are running like low cost ultimates and they keep rotating those ultimates. So you might see some big heavy attacks with just this buff. What's it called? Engulfing Flames and Trap and then Molten. Those buffs plus Burning Spellweave. Like 36k crits and stuff like that. So you'll see big damage windows of opportunity for high burst. And the sustained damage is pretty good. It's like 20k non-crits. Like, what? 20k non-crits? That's freaking crazy. 35k crit. Like, I don't even have all the buffs. I don't have Spell Power, Cure, Warhorn, you know what I mean? Combat Prayer. So the damage is going to be insane for these heavy attacks. And that's going to be your sustain as well. So I thought that was really cool for Inferno Staff DK heavy attack. And you're just going to keep up your dots as best you can. This one's a big buff for you and your team. So this one's going to be very important. Along with just going to your back bar every 18 seconds for Eruption. Every 18 seconds you're going to go like Trap, Flames, Eruption, then do Molten if needed, and then ult whenever you have it, and then just heavy attack and then whip. Heavy attack and then whip, and then reapply these 3 dots, and then heavy attack, and go to your back bar and do them again every 18. So it's really freaking powerful, the amount of damage you can get if things line up. Burning Spellweave is going to have a pretty high uptime because you're mainly dots and you're not going to your back bars often. And then when Standard's up, freaking Major Slayer's up, man, you can hit some high damage windows, which is going to melt certain targets. Let's say, the boss requires you to hit an ad that's important to kill so your team doesn't die necessarily. Like, it's not going to have millions and millions of health. It might have like 1 million or 2, and if you hit 100k damage on it, like a 60k heavy and then a 40k whip, man, you're really putting a lot of pressure on those mechanics or things that could kill you, and you're getting them down quick. It's almost like an anytime execute when it's freaking insane. And I really like this playstyle, so I'm gonna stick with this, and I will update this on my website for any changes that they do make. So guys, if you like this, if you have any questions, if I missed something, or maybe I could play around with the bars or whatever, just comment below. I will keep this build updated on fearturbo.com, and everyone have a good day, and I'll see you in the next video.